So I have been saying for quite some time that soon everyone is going to burn in this fire that Pakistanis, the Mu'mineens, the Pakistani Muslims have lit, which is, we know throughout history, Hindus and Christians have been paying the price for being born in Pakistan ever since its independence in 1947. Soon after independence in 1970s, Ahmadis, the persecution of Ahmadis started. That was okay. They labeled them non-Muslims. So Ahmadis are now burning in that fire. And quite recently, well, Shias have always been persecuted as well, but that persecution has gained momentum in recent years. Last Muharram, we spoke about how 20 plus Shia clerics were arrested under the charge of blasphemy. Some got released. Some are still facing persecution. There's more coming up on that as well. But as I said, once you start a movement that is solely that revolves around hatred and hating people that are different from you, soon you will fall victim to that as well. Some Sunni Muslims have also been accused of blasphemy in the past and have paid dear price, fatal price, I should say. Last year, I reported the incident when a bank manager was shot down, was gunned down by the bodyguard of the bank under the accusation of blasphemy. Now, that guy was a mainstream Sunni Muslim, and he was killed off under the charge of blasphemy. There was another Muslim boy who was accusing others on Facebook of blasphemy through some cosmic justice. He himself, a few months later, he himself was accused of blasphemy and was brutally beaten up. He didn't lose his life, but he was brutally beaten up. So we share the photos as well. But now other Sunnis are going to get accused of that too. But this guy sounds like he is an atheist. He's he's a famous author, writer, poet in Sindhi language in Pakistan, Sindh, Pakistan. And there was a trend on Twitter which said, arrest Amar Jaleel under 295C because he blasphemed. But he didn't blaspheme against Muhammad. He actually presented a kind of like famous poem by Pakistan's favorite national poet Allama Iqbal called Shikwa, in which he was just complaining to God that why things are like this, why did you do this, why did you do that? And then he gave a jawab-e-shikwa, meaning, okay, now let me respond to it. So he responded on Allah's behalf. So it was kind of like that. It was literature. It's like there's no blasphemy, there's no abusive language in that. But have a look at it yourself. What actually did he say? We put subtitles on it. These are 100% legitimate subtitles. I haven't usually I sometimes add funny, quirky remarks in the subtitles, but this time I haven't done that. So it's actually legitimate. Have a look.
तो 1,24,000 नबी मोकिलिया आहिनि उन्हनि में हिक बि नबियाणी न आहे तो ईअं छो कयो जवाब ॾियण बदिरां ख़ुदा हेॾा होॾा ॾिसण लॻो मूंखे ख़बर आहे तो ईअं छो कयो मूंखे चयो तोखे माउ ऐं ममता जे बारे में का ख़बर ई कोन्हे मूं ॾांहुं ॾिसंदे चयईं मूंसां गॾु रहंदे रहंदे तूं पाण खे ख़ुदा थो सम्झें चयोमांसि मां ख़ुशि नसीबु आहियां जो ख़ुदा न आहियां मूंखे हिकु माउ जनमु ॾिनो आहे तंहिं करे मूंखे औरत जी अज़मत जी ख़बर आहे चयुमि ख़ुदा तूं ॾाढो बदनसीबु आहीं तोखे कंहिं माउ जनमु ई न ॾिनो तंहिं करे तोखे ख़बर ई न आहे त हिकु माउ ऐं हिकु माउ जी ममता छा थींदी आहे ख़बर हुजे हा त 10-15 नबियाणियूं ज़रूरु मोकिले हा.
You know, what's surprising in this is that he's giving a talk somewhere and in the audience, you've got hundreds of people and they're actually clapping. What he said is quite provocative. He's actually taunting Allah. I think he used the word God, Khuda, instead of Allah directly. But, you know, given that he's doing that in Pakistan, obviously by God, he means Allah. And he's actually taunting Allah that you don't know the importance of women. You don't know because you didn't have any mother. That's why you don't know the importance of motherhood. I think it's kind of a weak argument, but the other point is that, which is a more crucial point, that, you know, why did you not send a single female prophet? You know, In Christianity, there are some female prophets, but in Islam, there's not a single female prophet. And Muhammad has said numerous times that many misogynist statements Muhammad has made, such as, you know, a country or people that are led by women is destined to be doomed. So men are above women. That's a Quranic verse. Women can be beaten. Women's statement is only worth half of that of a man. Women get less inheritance than her male counterparts. So there's a lot of misogyny in Islam. But here, in a literary sense, he was actually criticizing Allah, and he was saying, you know, why did you not send any female prophets? So because of that, Pakistanis are triggered, as always, and they were tweeting about it. And apparently, ever since I took these screenshots, it's actually gotten worse. And I think it's in his intro. His name is actually Jaleel, but look, they changed the name to Jaleel, which means a moron or something like that. It's gotten worse. So many other clerics have spoken out against this poet Amar Jaleel, so I would recommend. I think he's in his 80s, so he's in his advanced ages of his life. So he probably has given up. He's like, nope, I'm going to come out all guns blazing. If they arrest me, they arrest me. But I would say, Amar Jaleel, you should leave Pakistan. Spartacus made a video. He said that you know, you should leave Islam and leave Pakistan, because people like him are quite important. Because as you can see, there were hundreds of people in the audience, and they were all clapping. They were all geeing him. So that's obviously the state of Pakistan. By the way, I just want to add, they're asking for 295C. 295C is the original 295A and B were actually legislated by the British at the time in 1920s or 30s to keep Hindus and Muslims, you know, like keep the peace between them. But Pakistan added another clause, 295C. Now, C says, specifically, it says that if you insult Muhammad, only Muhammad, no one else, no other religion or anything, then you can be sentenced to death. So here, technically, he's not actually insulting Muhammad, he's actually insulting God. But there is no 295C for blaspheming against Allah. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.